How's it going, guys? I'm Thomas, and welcome back to T Ozzy. Welcome back to the train room. So today we are going to be working on a little bit of a project today. As you kind of saw in the title, we're going to be working on a rolling stock project. So one thing that I've been doing a lot more lately is a lot of floor running. In the last episode when I acquired the Orient Duck Express, I got a lot of Bachman Easy Track with that since it comes with that set. So I acquired a little bit more track, and now I have a bit of a longer run that I can do on the floor in the train room, which is really great. I like the trains being able to stretch their legs, and I also do like having a layout that's nice and detailed. So kind of it's what I can do right at the moment to have a little bit of a longer run for the trains, because I can't build anything bigger than the Garibaldi shoreline. So what that means is now that I'm able to run longer trains, which requires more rolling stock. So one of the things that I do have is I do have a lot of rolling stock, but it's a lot of older and not as nice, really plasticky, not very prototypical rolling stock, right? So I acquired a lot of this rolling stock from a swap meet down at the Golden State Model Railroad Museum. I filled a big paper bag. Here's a picture. I filled this big paper bag just full of trains, and a lot of it's not very nice. A lot of it's really cheap stuff. So I'm at a point where I feel like I can start upgrading and start being a little bit more picky about what I have for rolling stock, right? I'm starting to figure out a little bit more about what I want to model, how detailed I want to be, how serious I want to be here and there with the hobby. So kind of nailing that stuff down on my own and doing it with the rolling stock I have is something that I can do. So one thing my girlfriend suggested when I was talking to her about this, I was like, I'm gonna have to sell some of this stuff to acquire more, because I'm kind of running out of space with the amount of rolling stock I have, and I can't keep adding more to the collection that I'm not just going to use. So one of the things she suggested was, why don't you just modify what you have? Which is something that I have been attempting with other pieces of rolling stock that I've worked on, and it's definitely something I think I could do. It's just a little daunting to go into a big project like this. So I was like, okay, let's go, let's test this out. I'm gonna start working on trains and start modeling a couple other things, and that's what we'll be doing today. I'll be documenting kind of what I've been going through, and what I've started to do, along with what I'm planning on doing with the rolling stock that I have to make it better and make it to my liking. So sit back, enjoy, and have a good time watching this video. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you what the plan is for the Great Rolling Stock Project. So before we cut to the video of me working on all this stuff, I kind of want to go through each piece that I have that I can work on and that I will be working on in this video. And I'll kind of tell a little bit about what I'm planning on doing. We'll see if that actually happens. I doubt anything that I'm actually going to talk about is coming to plan, but we'll see what happens here. So to go through some of these, I kind of want to spray paint this one with just a matte clear coat. It's got a really glossy finish right now, and I have another one of these that's a little bit nicer, and I try and like to replicate and keep this Libby's Famous Foods boxcar intact. So we'll see what we can do with this one. Might change it. That's, I don't have a plan for it. I might just switch it up entirely. And these two boxcars, I know I'm going to shave off these top walkways, catwalks, because I want to get rid of them. That's not really the era I'm looking at. We don't really use catwalks anymore, and getting rid of those and doing that, I think, is a good plan, because I'm going to shave them off by sanding them and filing them down, and I've done that to other things in the past and it's worked out pretty well. So let's hope I can do it again with both of these. And I'm feeling like I could spray paint both of the bottoms of these black, upgrade the wheel sets, because I know some of this, there's a little bit of rust and stuff, and I can sand that off and file that away. So that's the plan here. So with these miscellaneous tankers, I think I'm just going to take them apart, get some of these wires off, and just paint them, spray paint them black, add a couple of decals, and they'll look a lot better being more uniform, because I know every single one of these, we don't really use these anymore anyway, and I haven't really used these pulling consists, so
maybe spray paint a couple black, maybe one yellow. We'll see what happens. I'll go look at some prototypical pictures and see what I want to do with that and make it more modern looking and uniform. Black most likely. These two, I like these two pieces, even though they're kind of crappy. This is the car that kind of inspired me to do this, because I just had the shell for this, and I finally ended up pulling off a chassis to use for this boxcar, and I cut these holes out, right there and right there on both sides with a pin vise and some filing, and I ended up being able to fit this. So adding some weight to this one and adding some weight to this boxcar as well, I think are the two things that I want to do with these. Other than that, I think I'm going to keep them fairly standard. I don't want to do too much to these because I like these, but adding weight would be definitely beneficial. This is kind of my graveyard right now. As you can see, some of these boxcars, they're just shells. This has completely entire wheel sets broken off. This one I can't change the couplers on for some reason, because I've tried in the past and broke these. Plus, I don't really know what the heck this is exactly. Not a real aficionado quite yet. So, that one I'm probably leaving. I do have another chassis that I can add weight to and put one of these boxcars on. So if I want to totally paint one of these boxcars over, I can. That's a potential thing I'm going to do. We'll see. I'm going to go get weight tomorrow and deal with that. This is just a 40 footer. I don't have a chassis for this one. The chassis is somewhere else. So that's kind of garbage. I have these two Tropicana cars. I'm not really sure what I want to do with these yet. These are fine. They're both in the box too, so I might keep them that way. We'll see what I want to do with these, because these are a little bit different than all the other boxcars I have, so a little bit newer. So I might just keep them the way they are. No plans. We'll see if I get bored. This caboose needs to be switched out. I got it because I like the teal and the New York Central stuff, but I have zero use for New York Central anymore, unless I, do something weird and decide to get some New York Central. But just painting this brown or something, or hell, red would be fine. I don't have a red caboose. Little red caboose is cute. We'll do that. We'll get it red. Why not? I actually don't have red spray paint, so we'll see if that's something I want to get. If not, I'll just paint it black or brown, because I'm definitely getting brown tomorrow when I go to the store. These 5 as well, I don't really know what to do with either, because these are nice pieces. I just want uniformity, so I might just be doing them all up in this Union Pacific scheme, because I have a DuPont. Can you see that? It won't focus. There you go. I have a DuPont scheme. I do like the DuPont scheme, so I might keep this one DuPont. Might make them all DuPont. I don't know. And Niagara laundry starch. Definitely getting rid of this one. I like the colors. It reminded me of John Deere or the Ducks. More like John Deere, but I want to make them uniform, so get rid of that one. And then these, I don't really know why. I just want to redo something. I want to make these like black or gray, because I don't really having an Ajax consist. It was a good thought in my mind, but I feel like I'd need a lot of these to make that make sense. So I don't know. Might do something fun to these. Might not, because they're still nice pieces. So we'll see. So anyway, that's what I'm working with. This is the kind of lot I'm going to deal with, and we'll see how it goes. So. Okay, so here's a little update on the rolling stock project. At the moment, I've taken apart all of the rolling stock that I'm going to work on, and I've either parted out whatever I needed to get parted out, or just getting ready to work on these. So these are the bases of the tank cars. This is the brake rigging that goes right under them. These are the weights from the tank cars. I soaked these in vinegar, and they got a lot of rust off of them, so that's good. So that's all the tank car stuff that's over here. These are just the parts for the tank cars that I took out and removed, and I'm going to use putting them back together. These are the box cars that I'm going to be working on, and the caboose. So I went through and cleaned all of these, put these through the sink, and did whatever I needed to do to get them ready for paint. So in this case, I had shaved off the catwalks. So when I paint them, it's going to look a little less obvious that they had catwalks on them. Hopefully a little bit better looking. As you can see, I weighted these down with some super glue and some nuts that I had bought. Once again, these are parts for the corresponding box car. This one, I couldn't take off the base because this base is solid, so I'm going to tape it up and leave it black. But I'm going to paint over this. With this one, I removed the entire catwalks, but then I realized when I was doing that, the plastic was really flimsy, so I added sticks, like longer toothpick skewers, to the inside just for a little bit of rigidity, and I'm going to be painting this whole thing. So it's going to go right on top of there. This box car I also took off the catwalks for. You can see that I filled out the holes that were there using just some leftover plastic from the catwalk that I removed, and just filled it with spackle. So hopefully that looks a little bit better when I get it painted up. I do plan on painting this base matte black, so I'm going to paint all this as soon as I can, once I'm able to. Once I get that ready and primed. Here are the floor bay hoppers. So I've disassembled these, taken all these to the sink, cleaned them, and this is the current state they're in. I am going to spray paint all of these and do what I will with them. I have the weights that go in here on the bed. I also soaked them in vinegar, or the one that needed to be. So this one, same thing. Took it to the sink, cleaned it with soap and water. Good as new. This one's a little bit different than the other two. It's actually had removable tops for filling the hopper. So I removed those. Those are in there with the trucks and everything, and so I can get that on the way. The one problem I am having is this is kind of warped. I need to figure out how to unwarp it. I've been trying to do my best at bending it with weight, but yeah. And then I also forgot, because I was just going on a whim here, I went and painted all the tank cars black. So it says it's a matte black. It's looking really glossy to me, but that's fine. A little disappointing it's not terribly, like, really flat matte, but yeah, I'm gonna try and print out some letters and stuff for it and put it on there with some glue, and then I'll clear coat it after that's done. So working on these, but I'm letting these dry right now. These just got painted. That's probably why it's so shiny, because they did just get painted, but we'll let it sit and dry. It's supposed to take about 10 minutes, an hour to the touch, so I'm just gonna leave them for a bit, and yeah, we'll get on to lettering those and printing out some letters. Since I don't have decal paper or water slide decal paper, I think I'm just gonna go print them out with black and hope it's close enough. It probably won't be, but I don't care, it'll look good enough. So on to the next. Okay, so not a lot of updates since the last clip that I just showed, because I've been trying to work with this slide decal, water slide decal paper from Hobby Lobby. I'll show you. Water transfer decal paper. And this stuff has really not been working well for me. I've never tried water slide decal stuff before. I've never done decals before, but it's not working. I've tried multiple times. I've soaked it. I mean, you can see the remnants of past attempts, and it just, I listened to what everyone said online and sealed these with some sealant, so the ink's on there. I just can't seem to get these to set correctly and to put it on there. It's too difficult for me. I want to get these done so I can work on the other cars that I have, because these are just only the oil tankers, and I'd like to get those finished. So I'm going to do what I did on the last couple of projects. Just print it out. I'm just using white printer paper, using the text with the highlight of the color that I've done on here. I've done this with a bunch of other projects, and it seemed to have worked out fine, so I'm not really worried about how this is going to turn out. If I cut them close enough and cut them well enough and put them on there, then seal them over with a clear coat, matte clear coat, they stick on there pretty well, and it's worked out fine with the other projects I've done this with. So I'm just going to keep doing this until maybe I can learn how to do the water transfer decals better, but for now, this is what I'm going to work with, so I'll start on that. So as you saw in the time lapse, I just finished up lettering this first tank car. I will be doing this to the other three, so I'm not gonna video that because you already saw how this one kind of went together. But just glue, and then I got some of the, if I can focus this, got some of the lettering and the numbering, the build date. Nothing too crazy. I can't do too much to these at the moment. I don't know enough to do all the DOT stuff, and I don't know that much about these, but this is fine for my purposes. It's detailed enough, so there you can get a little glimpse of this, of the work I've done. But number on the front and the back, and then after I'm done with all three of these, I will go outside and clear coat them, and then bring them back in and let them dry. So I'll start putting together. I'll start doing the bottoms first before I start doing the tops, and then yeah, so get back to it. I'll do the rest of these. Alright, I just finished all of the lettering, so got all three of these tank cars lettered up, and I'm gonna go spray these with a sealant so the paint doesn't get chipped or anything, and then the decals will set and everything will be good. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll put these all together and we'll come back and show you the results. Alright, it's the end of day 4. I think technically day 4 of me working on the rolling stock project, and here's a little bit of an update just at the end of the day. So I have started working on getting these assembled. So these are the tank cars. These are the weights for the tank cars. I have to put these in as soon as possible. I think I'm going to put them in tomorrow. But nothing's happened here. Nothing's changed. I'm waiting for these to go to paint, or, you know, for me to paint them. So I'll get on that as soon as possible. I think I'm going to start on that tomorrow. But I got to go run some errands tomorrow for another project that I'm working on. So here is the tank cars. I'm kind of letting them cure. Just kind of letting them cure overnight. They look great so far. The matte coloring came off a lot better than what it was. It was a little bit too shiny for me, but this is working out really well. So these will be great. So yeah, I have to assemble those. So ignore the mess here because this is continued with the project. I have been working on these. These are the bases of the tank cars. So these come in 2 parts, and also these wheels for the brakes, the brake wheel. These keep breaking off, so I've been plastic welding them, and I have plastic welded the base of these. You can see it's still a little wet from the plastic weld, but I've done a couple rounds on this. Hopefully I won't have to worry about this. So those are turning out pretty good. This is the plastic weld I've been using, just the micro weld. So that's been working. So that is how that has been going. And as you know, there's the Garibaldi short line. I gotta take you guys out here really quick to where I've been working. So here's where I've been working, doing most of my projects while watching the Olympics. It's been fun. But here's the current project I'm working on. I'm refurbing the Garibaldi short line excursion train because there's been some cracking with the paint on the inside, and I know why that is. You can kind of see it here. I have used, there's some cracking there, but this has been coated with a matte clear coat. And I just want to go over this one more time with that matte clear coat to make sure it's all stuck in. So I've been using this acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree. Not probably the best idea in the world to use acrylic paint on plastic. And lesson learned, because that's why that is cracking. And I didn't seal these two with the clear coat like I did with this one. So I'm going to try and do what I did exactly with the acrylic paint. I've done just a really thick, heavy layer of paint on the inside of this and painted the outside. But if that doesn't work, and if I have it overnight and it dries pretty I'm gonna go back out and pick up some spray paint and paint over these with just like a green spray paint like this color. Hopefully that works out and we can do that, and hopefully get something that kind of matches the caboose. If not, I might have to redo this, and I don't want to have to redo this because I really like this caboose. I'm really proud of it, and yeah, so we're gonna redo these. That's what this balsa wood is for. I'm going to try and cut these and make a better covering for the covered coach. There's just a open air covered car in the consist, and I removed that, and I'm going to be using some balsa wood that's a little bit better to get that effect, and I can make it just a little bit better than it was. So hopefully that's going to happen. So this is kind of how it's been going. This is the end of day 4. I really want to finish this project up as soon as possible, and I want to get the other stuff into paint as soon as possible. So we'll see how that ends up being. We'll see how much I can get done tomorrow. My goal is to get a lot done tomorrow, a lot of painting tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. If I can letter and get at least some of the hopper cars, or at least a couple of the box cars ready to roll, I think I'll be pretty happy. So back to work, getting after it tomorrow morning. Alright, so I have everything ready to be assembled for the tank cars. So I'm going to get right on that right now. So let's get that done. Alright, from the last clip that you just saw, the last time lapse, I finished putting all of these together, and whoops, they are all up and running on all new metal wheels, and yeah, they look pretty good. All lettered up and all built. So let's bring this over here and let's have them pull up to the current modified consist, and let's see how this works. All coupled up, and let's send them for a little bit of a loop.
Yeah, those three are done. Love to say that because they look great and they make for a really good addition to my rolling stock fleet. So yeah, I'm very, very proud of these. So let's keep going. Let's work on the next a little bit.
Okay, it is the end of day 7. I didn't record yesterday because there was nothing really to update, but the Great Rolling Stock project continues into day 7. I don't think I'm going to actually have it done by what I hoped was today or tomorrow. It's going to be a bit before this project is done and I can get this video out, which kind of sucks. I wish I could have gotten it out in a week, but it's just taking longer than I thought, and I just wanted to go over what I actually have been working on. So, at the moment, we have finally, I'll show you the other 2, but I've painted these up, these 4-bay hoppers up, and I have it sitting over here without a bottom or anything, because I'm going to start working on decals for it. This is how I do decals. I kind of said a little bit in the last video about water slides didn't really work for me, so I'm just going to keep doing it this way. It's been working, so whatever, this works. How I do it works. As you can see right here, the Garibaldi short line is getting its excursion cars upgraded. So this is the covered car that I'm working on. I have these all painted up and they're all glued in. They all work really well. I'm just trying to decide if I want to do the 2 that are here. I will eventually get to it, but I need to measure it out and get it done, paint them, and all that good stuff. So that's going to be quite a process to get done. Other than that, though, I'm also working on getting what was the old benches done. I'm doing it a little bit differently than I did on the old ones. I'm going to do double-sided, so it looks like there's 2 benches in the one seat, so it takes up less space. So that I'm working on that currently. I have to do it all by hand because I don't have a wood cutter yet. I have one ordered, and I'm going to like a chopper. It's going to make that a lot easier, but I just want to get started on it right now so I can get working on getting all these done. Over here, I got bored. This is the 485. This was, as you can see, the mogul that I used to pull the Garibaldi short line excursion train. Well, I have repainted the tender, which is in the other room. We're gonna go shoot in there real quick to check on that stuff. But I've repainted the tender to get rid of the scratching that I did to try to get rid of the decals. Long story short, I ended up disassembling this whole engine, and I'm going to repaint this to match that same black, and I'm just going to upgrade in certain ways, like the smoke box I think I'm going to paint silver, just to make it look like a better engine overall. So that is what is going on here. This is just for reference for the Garibaldi shortline cars, since this is what I made the Garibaldi shortline cars out of. So it's the same dimensions as the other one, so I can just mess with it, and I don't have to mess with that one. Moving on to the other room. It is dark, I have to turn it. So, what have we completed in this room? I have the roof that is being worked on for the Garibaldi shortline roofed excursion car, the open excursion car. Looks fine. I don't think I'm going to do another coat on this bottom because you're not going to ever see it. But once the matte coat goes on, this gloss from the glue should be gone, hopefully. I'm really hoping that works. But if it doesn't, I'll live with it. I'll be fine with it. We deal. These box cars are currently waiting for paint, so I'm going to paint them up and decal them. So they are still waiting. These are parts for the hopper cars. I'll figure those out in a bit. but those are waiting. This has been sealed. I'm just waiting to build the chairs, the benches in it. So once that is done, I could probably take all this stuff off and add the wheels and stuff, but I'm just gonna wait until I get that done, and I might clear coat it again, depending on if I want to clear coat all the wood. We'll see what happens. Here are the other 2 hoppers, 4-bay hoppers. So as you can see, the paint didn't really... Something happened with the paint, and I don't know if that's my fault or whatever. I'm just gonna live with it. I'm just gonna count it out as like, oh, the paint on the actual hopper's chipping or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna live with it. It'll be fine. Here is the tender for the mogul, at least this part of it. It's really shiny right now because it hasn't gotten the matte clear coat, but I'm going to letter the tender to the Garibaldi short line. I'm just gonna label it Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad since that's what the Garibaldi short line is based on, but you get the point. It's gonna be lettered for the consist. This is the base that I painted for one of the rolling stock, for this guy. That was the base for him, so yippee, got that black done. Check. I did it at the same time as that one. Okay, anyway, and here is the big progress today. This is what I've been working on and has been taking up all my time. This is the caboose that I made for those Oregonians that may live in the valley outside of Portland. You'll know what the pizza caboose is, and I love the pizza caboose. So yeah, I had a little smudge there, but I'm just gonna live with it. I couldn't fix it when I was painting. I didn't realize it until it was too late. So weathering, yay, yippee. Anyway, Pizza Caboose, great restaurant, great pizza place. Nostalgic memories for this guy. So I love the Pizza Caboose, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this caboose until yesterday. I had a vision and I was like, let's do it. So you know what, it's better than having a New York Central bright blue piece of rolling stock that I'm never going to use. Now I have a cool kind of memento of the pizza caboose. So I have ripped him around here a couple of times with the freight consist there, with the SP&S train I've been running with all the new rolling stock. You can see the 3 new tankers that I made. So that is what I've gotten done. I've also finished up the caboose on the Garibaldi short line. I resprayed it and gave it the metal wheels and all that good stuff. So there, it's on there now. That is what I've been doing. It's been quite the project getting all this stuff done and waiting for paint, because I'm using only that to paint. I'm using stuff on there, so I just pull that stuff off and put the different stuff on when I need to paint it. I know it's probably a long process and I probably shouldn't do it, but it worked. So there we are. Have fun. I'm going to get back to work. Probably go to bed soon, but I'm going to get back to work on getting all this stuff done. So okay, so it's been a long time since I've done one of these updates for the big project that I've been doing. And I feel like it's time to explain a couple of things. I've been gone a little bit, so I have to work on this. I haven't been able to work on this for a while. So here's the little update. I have no idea what day it is anymore. So here's what I've been working on today. I've been working on getting this tender lettered up so I can matte clear coat this. I'm thinking about doing the number on the back. It's going to be renumbered to the 503, which is very funny. It's fitting. I also decided that I'm going to repaint this. I want the smokestack to be silver as well, so I'm gonna have to get that done ASAP. So this is gonna be painted tomorrow because it is night and I have to go to bed, so I can actually keep working on this tomorrow. So here's how it's looking so far. It's all taped up. I'm gonna renumber that and matte clear coat that in a bit. So a little jump cut. I am also working on this project as well, getting this rolling stock done. The boxcars are gonna have to wait till tomorrow. I think I have to spray them again. So no real work has been done on them since the last time I think I gave an update, other than that they are sprayed brown, but there's still some of the color poking through, like you can see some yellow. But so I have to respray those. These I've been working on some of these hoppers, and I decided to go away from the Union Pacific and just do some St. Mary's hoppers because I thought that'd be fun. Be a fun little project and specific to my personal likings. So that's what these are looking like at the moment. I think I actually have to work on these a little bit more and do a couple more things to them, so before I can spray them. So I'm working on that. So that's kind of the current update for this. I've also sprayed the smoke box door for the locomotive. So I just need to clear coat this. That is what that is waiting on. That has been fully sprayed. But I'm going to go put the locomotive on here, spray the smokestack up, wait for it to dry, renumber it, spray it another color because I'm trying to do another color for the boiler, and then I'll do that. And then I'll clear coat that and decal it and everything. So then I can get to assembling these, then getting to work on the lettering and the decaling for those that I want to do. And yeah, that is kind of where this stands right now. I'm still working on it. It's still in progress. Don't worry, I haven't given up hope yet. But this has been quite the project to be working on, and I've gone through a lot of trial and error here. So anyway, going to bed, working on this tomorrow.
All right, so here are the final workups of the hopper cars that I've been working very hard on. And over the last couple of days, I've been refining how they look, getting all the decals done. And overall, I think they look pretty good. You can see the front two I have weathered, and then I haven't weathered the rear, and I'm keeping it that way because I wanted two, which they're all numbered individually. That'll focus. There you see. This one's numbered, and then this one is 19282. Whoa. That one is the newest purchased one. And those two have been on the railroad for a while, so that's why they're weathered, and that's why that one is clean. It also works because this is a different style of 4x hopper. So the main difference I've found is where the brake wheel is located. On these, they're located up top. Well, they're located up top here. And yes, I numbered even the fronts. But, well, on here, it's located at the bottom. So it's a little different style. I don't know the difference between the two. I barely even know what these are called. But this one with the lower brake wheel feels newer to me, which, as you can see, it looks newer. It's been derailed. There. And therefore it looks newer. So, I'm really happy with how these look. The weathering job is all custom by me. I sprayed a glossy lacquer over it so it would stay weathered and not do anything. So, worked really well. So hopefully I can get working on the box cars, and yeah, we can get the rest of this video going. Alright, so the last thing I filmed was probably about a week ago from today. And in that point in time, I have been working a little bit on the rolling stock project. But mainly I've been collecting film for this and doing some other side projects at the same time. So this video is going to be coming out way later than I wanted it to. But anyway, the last thing that I have basically not done is right over here. Let me grab it. This is the final boxcar that I have not lettered or done any decals on, and this one's just sitting here. I have nothing to do with it quite yet. This was the Libby's Foods boxcar, the yellow one, and now it's brown. It's just regular brown, and I have nothing to do with it. So I'm just gonna wait, and if inspiration strikes with this one, I'll do something with it. But so far, nothing has. So I'm just leaving this one, and I'm going to do the rest of the update for the rest of the stuff that I have worked on now. But instead, I'm just going to do a full overview of the whole project, just because some of the clips were from a while ago, and I've been watching the footage back, and it's not comprehensive. But still, it'll work, and I'll include it all in the video. I'll just do a comprehensive, full talk through of everything that I have worked on and everything that has been completed. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do with this. To go over everything that I have done in the Great Rolling Stock project, I have a train set up that is going to be pulling all of the pieces of rolling stock that I have worked on, plus a couple other things that I have been working on with this project. So that's the fun way we're gonna do this. So let's check out the first thing that, in the order, it's not in chronological order of stuff that has been finished. There are a couple outliers, and those will be pretty obvious when I discuss them. However, we'll just get right into it. This is the consist as it is. So the first piece that we're going to take a look at the end of this is the headliner locomotive. So this is a project that kind of spur of the moment happened during the Great Rolling Stock project. There is a clip in the video of me masking, taping it, and doing all that stuff. So here's the finished product. This is the number 503 for the OCSR. I have spray painted the tender, spray painted everything on here with this new flat black, so it's all uniform. I've done the entire boiler firebox area right here in this beautiful green, this hunter green. It's a great color, and I have this is a brass piece, and this is I have painted this in like a gold color to match the brass. Looks great. And then I've done the entire front of the boiler, front firebox in the hammered silver. So the main thing that I did with this is I added a brass piece to the front for the headlight. That headlight had been missing, but now I have a brass piece that shows the headlight housing where I fitted the headlight, and it looks pretty great. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out, and yeah, really happy, really great. So on to the next. So the mogul can't pull the entire consist, so I have this SP&S number 316 helping it out right behind it. I haven't done anything to this logo. It's just a tried and true runner, and it's fine, but it's just helping out the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad number 503 pull this entire consist. So that's why it's here. Nothing done to this one. This one's still stock standard, so I love this engine. I don't think I'm going to do anything to it, but yeah, here's this one. On to the next. So here's the Longview, Portland, and Northern, the We Love Oregon boxcar. I kind of showcased this at the beginning of it. The main thing I did was I just added the weights. You can see that in the compilation that I made. So in the time lapse. So there, weights added, runs better. There's that. So here's this UP boxcar. I've done the exact same thing to this one as the Longview, Portland, and Northern boxcar. Just added weights. Runs a little bit better now.
now that it has a little bit extra weight down on it. So yeah, really great change. I'm really fine with this boxcar and how it looks. So no big issues with this one. So I will pull both of these into the shot. I did the exact same thing to these two. The main thing I did were the doors. I had to rebuild the doors. These were the first kit I ever built for boxcars and rolling stock. So it took a lot of getting used to getting all that work done. And I built it incorrectly with the doors. And plus the weights on the inside were falling out. So I had to reglue those. So I went in there and did that whole project at the same time. So turned out great. Worked out well. Alright, I've kind of already done a comprehensive overview of these, but just to outline what I actually did with them. Took them apart, spray painted them, they're all this flat black now. I lettered them up, custom lettering, same tactic. I've lettered a lot of the other stuff in here, just printer paper, printed it out, sized it, and got it on there with some tacky glue. It does have numbers for the individual stacks that it has for the oil fillers, and it has metal wheels, nice new couplers, so they run great. They're a great addition to have in the collection, so I'm really happy about that. Alright, next are the SMC 4-bay hoppers. So I've already kind of gone over these in a previous clip, but main thing with these were I painted them first the wrong shade of gray, but now they're painted the gray that I like. They've been lettered up. These two have been weathered. This one is not. It's a different type of hopper car, so I'm fine with this one not being weathered. I'm happy with it, actually. I like how these look. I think first attempt at weathering job, it's a great attempt for me. So I'm overall really happy with how these look. These have metal wheels as well. All the details really great. So there's those upgraded pieces. Alright, and here are the two pieces that I have not showcased yet. These are the two boxcars that I have been working on. So both of these boxcars are for the Diablo Valley Lines, which is a model railroad club, a layout that the Walnut Creek Model Railroad Society has at their home base, and this layout's amazing. I loved going in there when I was down in California. Probably one of my favorite places to visit. The layout's really impressive. It's huge, the building's huge, and they run trains constantly, so at least there's always something to look at. There's always something new going on there. And it's a really great place to go and hang out and enjoy when they do their open houses, because they do that frequently, and not a lot of clubs do frequent open houses that are open to the public. And having running sessions during those is great, and it allows for so many more people to be exposed to the hobby. And for someone like myself who's a budding enthusiast, going to this place was giving me inspiration to actually get back to the hobby. So it was a really fun time, and I wanted to make a couple boxcars representing the time that I spent there and the club itself. So here are the two Diablo Valley Lines boxcars. Similar with all the other stuff, metal wheels, spray paint job, custom lettering, and both of these are custom lettering. And the final piece, we've already showcased this a little bit, Pizza Caboose. Very, very happy with how this turned out. It's not prototypical anyway, but I mean, I wasn't ever going to use a New York Central caboose. So that's the final piece in the rolling stock project.
So overall, that was a long project, and it was a lot of effort getting that done. I'm really happy that I did it though, and I'm really happy that I've been videotaping everything and documenting the progress, because it shows the creative process a little bit more. I definitely suggest anyone out there who's trying to think about what they can do with their used rolling stock to go out and attempt something like this. Go and work with what you have. Go and use your own abilities to create something. It's been a real challenge to kind of get some of this new stuff in my wheelhouse, like the lettering, the weathering, painting stuff. Learning more about that side of the hobby was a great challenge for me. I think it worked out really well. I think the product that I produced was really satisfactory to what I wanted to put out. So overall, totally suggest doing that. I would do it again if I had the chance. I could do it in a better time period, because this video took a long time to make. Everything from shooting, creating, everything took me way longer than I probably should have. I probably could have gotten this done in a week, but that's the creative process, right? Slowly taking your time, thinking out every move, and every time my ADHD brain goes in and wants to do a different side of the project, or this, keep thinking of stuff to do and stuff I can do. The locomotive was something that was like really spur of the moment, and I didn't think I was going to do it, but that's probably my favorite thing that came out of this project. I think it's the best quality thing that I made, and I think it's the thing I'm the most proud of, because it took me a lot of effort to get all that done and looking the way it does. So overall, really great time, really great rolling stock project that I just took on. It was a huge endeavor, and I'm really happy that I did it. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the project, about the pieces that I made? Do you want to see more about them? Do you want to hear a little bit more about how I went through the process of creating these things, did my research? Just let me know. This is already a really long video, so I can't fit everything that I want to fit in it, but that's okay. Probably not everyone's going to make it to the end of this one, but yeah. Overall, just let me know your thoughts on the project. Have you done something like this in the past? Do you use some of the same techniques that I've been using to further my skills in the hobby? So let me know, comment below. Remember, if you made it this far, like the video. It would be really helpful to get other people to see this video. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. So hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me and waiting for so long for this video to come out. So yeah.